And the beans of your choice will not change the flavor of this tutorial, of this recipe that I'm showing you right now. So for the first part of the video, we're going to be making some white rice. The white rice, I added about 5 cups of water. I didn't measure, I just eyeballed it, so it may be too much, and if it is, we'll take some out. It'll be okay, it's only white rice. So I added some cooking oil. You can use any kind of cooking oil or olive oil to your rice, and I added maybe about this much of a rice spoon, not with holes obviously, but about that much. And now I'm going to sprinkle salt. I use pink salt. You guys can use any salt that you wish. Okay, so you see that our water has come to a boil. So our water, which is including our cooking oil, I ended up using Masola cooking oil and my pink salt. And now I'm going to add my 4 cups of long grain rice that I already washed. And I see something in here. You see that? I want to take that out of your rice. And we're going to add it to the boiling water, and my stove is at a high heat. And I'm going to give it a good stir. I think I'm going to take some water out. It has too much water, and I don't like my water to be and I don't like the rice to be way too mushy. It's just white rice. We can just take some water out. So I'm going to take about a cup of water out. You can always add it back if you need to. I just took out 2 cups of water. Yeah, this is more like it, like so. You see where you stir the rice and you can see the rice. It's not like you're stirring and you don't see the rice at all, because then your rice is going to be soupy. This is perfect. Okay, leave your stove at a high heat and allow the water to dissolve, and then we'll cover it. Alright, so from the very bottom, put your spoon. And it might be kind of hard to do this with like a flimsy plastic spoon, so metal is best, because you want to go from the bottom and you want to flip it up like this, and give it just one good last mix. Alright, and you know that I always shape my rice like a dome. I don't know, because that's how I grew up seeing my dad do it. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to turn our stove down. Mine is a 2 to a 6, low to high. I'm going to put mine at a 3, that's a medium, a low to medium heat. Alright, now we're going to cover this up. It should be done, depending on your stove, between 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to set my Alexa for 35 minutes, and then I'll see you then. Alexa, set the timer for 35. Alright guys, so when you're making white rice, your beans have to be delicious, because your beans is what's going to flavor that rice. So those beans got to be on point. Remember that. All right, guys, so I'm going to be using pinto beans. You can use any beans that you like with this recipe. Today I'm going to be using pinto beans, and you're going to use whatever beans you want. And then we're going to use a half an onion. We're going to use a half a cup of cilantro. We're going to use probably a tablespoon, about a tablespoon of salsa tomate. So I'm going to be using this today, but you can use fresh garlic. I'm going to use one sobre, one envelope of sazon, and one envelope of, oh my God, chicken bouillon. You can use ham, beef, whatever you like. Adobo, a little bit of garlic powder, a bay leaf. And with that, oh, hello, and the star of the show. You can use potatoes. I'm going to be using sweet potatoes. I kind of like sweet potatoes better in my beans than the regular potatoes. So, but if you want to switch it out because you don't care for sweet potatoes and you want to use regular potatoes, by all means you can. But today I'm going to be using one medium potato that I cut about this big. I didn't cut them too large because I don't want them to take too long to cook. Alright, my loves, we're going to start off by adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, you can use regular cooking oil. It's not a big deal. We're going to add our onions. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of garlic, to that I'm going to add a half a cup of cilantro. Alright, go ahead and add that 1 medium sweet potato. At this point, turn your stove up at a high heat. Now you want to add your tomato sauce, and you want to add about a tablespoon or 2 to it. And if you have acid reflux or for whatever reason you cannot have the acid in the tomato sauce, you don't need to add it. It's not going to change the taste whatsoever. You're going to add your beans. The beans are your choice. And the beans of your choice will not change the flavor of this tutorial, of this recipe that I'm showing you right now. Tin can that your beans came in, you can add 1 cup of water. I'm going to add another cup. And that's 2 cups of water, and your stove should be at a high heat, guys. Add 2 bay leaves to my beans, but this is optional, guys. So if you don't have bay leaves, don't, stop making the beans because you don't have bay leaves. You can still make the beans without the bay leaves. And I added 2, and I'm gonna add 1 more because they're really small. I'm at the end of the container, so the ones always at the bottom are always smaller for some reason. Alright, let this come to a boil, and then we'll add all of our other seasoning, which is going to be the sazon, chicken bouillon, adobo, and garlic powder. So get that ready. Alright guys, so it has come to a boil, so now I'm going to add 1 envelope of sazon, my 1 envelope of chicken bouillon. You can use any bouillon of your choice. I'm gonna sprinkle about a tablespoon of adobo. You can use any adobo you like. And I'm gonna sprinkle about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of garlic powder. Smelling good, smelling good. I'm gonna allow this to come to a boil, then I'm gonna check my seasonings again in case I need to add something else. If you want to add pepper, you can. I'm not a big fan of pepper. That's why when I do my cooking tutorials, you really don't see me adding it. Alright guys, I did taste the beans just now. I'm going to add one more envelope of chicken bouillon. I'm going to put my stove down to a medium to high heat for about 30 minutes, okay? Because I want those sweet potatoes to be a little tender. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
Second timer, 30 minutes.
So now I'm gonna...
Do you want to name this timer?
Beans.
Okay, I'll call it a beans timer.
All right.
Minutes, starting now.
And you know, Alexa and me, we like BFFs, right? Yeah. All right, guys. So I put my stove this time at a 4. When I put my lid on, when I make my beans and I put the lid on my beans, do you see how I have it? I want to make sure you guys can see this. I don't want to move the camera because I don't want it to fall. You see how I have the lid not directly on it where it's shut. I have it slightly. You see that where it's venting? I don't know. Like I said in prior videos, I do this because I seen that when I do this, the sauce of the beans come out thicker because I hate watery beans. Like, do not ever serve me watery beans. I like my beans to be a little bit on the thick side. So I learned that this works for me. So try and see if it works for you. And if it does, let me know in comments, all right? I'll see you guys back in 30. So this chicken, I took it out yesterday morning. And I was going to actually cook this meal yesterday, but I had so much work, and now I watch my grandson, a gringo, during the day, that yeah, work has become a little challenging. So this was yesterday's dinner. I had so many orders I had to get out last night, guys. So last night just ended up to be a pizza night. So we ordered 4 pies and call it a night. But I did come down last night and I seasoned the chicken because I had already taken it out. So I had to season it. So let me show you just how I did this. Now these are chicken thighs, bone in. Oh my God, those beans are smelling so freaking good. All right, these are, Alexa, stop the timer. This is chicken thighs, bone with the bone. What I did was I took the cuero out, the skin, and guys, let me tell you, back in the day, I would have ripped the skin off of all of these chicken thighs, season them suckers up, and fry them. But I'm trying to watch how I eat because I just turned 50, so I'm not gonna do that, and it kills me to throw the cuero, the chicken skin, away, but it is what it is. So I ripped the cuero off. I cleaned the chicken. I did give it some slices on the top. I'm not sure if you can see it. So what I did after that, I just sprinkled. I didn't measure nothing, guys, because when I do the chicken así, I don't measure. Yo le meto. Okay, so I did garlic powder. I did some adobo. Le metí sazón. I added sazón. Y que no. Oh, and this Creole seasoning, I love this. I use this a lot when I do my jerk and my curry. And also the shrimp scampi is good. So le metí esto. I put that too. And then on top of that, and some pink salt. And then on top of that, if you guys remember in the beginning of the pandemic that I was doing the shopping haul stocking up, if you guys remember that I went to a lot of Puerto Rican supermarkets getting different mojos, because it doesn't matter how many times you're cooking chicken, steak, pork, it doesn't matter. And you change the mojos, it changes the flavor of the chicken, so everybody doesn't always feel like they're eating the same thing. So anyway, last night, because I still have some from my pandemic stockpile, I took this one out and I added it to the chicken thighs. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some garlic and I'm just gonna add it to that. It should be good after that, just like that. And just to wake it up, and I'm gonna add a little more of this Creole seasoning. It's so freaking good, guys. So un poquito más de Creole seasoning, like that. And then you can put this chicken in the oven. You can add peppers and onions on it, broccoli, cauliflower, lo que sea, any kind of vegetables. I'm gonna put mine in my air fryer, and that's how I'm gonna make mine. I don't know, I was gonna broil it on my air fryer, then I thought about baking it, but I'm just gonna put it air fried mode. Okay, so this is going to be what we're going to be serving with that delicious white rice and the beans, honey. Those beans, honey. All right, guys, so let me add this to my air fryer. So remember, this is simple. You can do it the same day. The next day is even better, but you can do it the same day. And it smells so good. And this is what we have. Now I'm going to show you the sauce, what I was talking about when I tell you that I put the lid a little bit over so it can vent. So this is it. Now if you want it a little thicker than this, no problem. Just don't cover it. Put it on high heat for about 5 to 10 minutes and it'll get a lot thicker. Holy shit! My camera fell inside my fucking beans.
Oh.
Yes.
Fuck.
Hello, my loves. I was just editing this video, but I wanted to take the time out and apologize for cursing on camera. My camera, which is not cheap at all, fell into a pot of hot beans, and I honestly thought my camera was done, but thanks God it survived the hot bean accident. So I'm so sorry, but if you like the video, please take time to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And also, if you have any recipes you would like me to make for you, please let me know below in comments what recipes they are that you would like me to make. Thank you so much for watching. It's Simply Nana with crafting, cooking, y sazón. Lo que pasa,